In this orthokeratology case, we've got a patient whose lenses are writing a little bit high. The patient's also complaining about a little bit of discomfort in lens binding in the morning. So I calibrate this cornea again between 11.4 and 11.5. And if we bring up the lens that the patient has right now, it's an 11.0. So we can go up a little bit. 11.2, 11.3 would, I think, be pushing it about a couple tenths of a millimeter. What that'll do is increase sagittal depth for the lens. And generally, the lens that's riding high is a lens that's a little bit too flat. And although it's usually a low riding lens that's binding, any lens that's off center can be a little bit more likely to bind. So we can increase total sagittal depth by increasing diameter a little bit. And then we also need to reset our OZ and IC points. They change when we change diameter. So we'll just go back to original. And then the other thing we can do is add a little bit more depth to this lens now by clicking down on the periphery and give ourselves maybe another 10 or 12 microns. If we have too much, then eventually we'll vault the central cornea by a little bit too much and not get enough treatment, but in this case the decentration seems to be more of an issue. And I think if the lens centers a little bit without having to change topo-demand, the patient will appreciate more correction of myopia. As far as comfort and binding, we've lifted the edge a little bit to help enhance lens removal. But then what that does is it does kind of concentrate bearing of this lens on a smaller area, and that can cause less comfort or more discomfort. So we kind of have to decide whether the binding is more of an issue for the patient or the comfort is. If the comfort is, then we can drop the periphery of the lens down and get the more lens material to over which we can spread the weight of the lens on the cornea. This probably will make it, or this will not, at least not help with lens removal in the morning. So I would just gauge what the patient considers a more challenging aspect of lens wear at this time, whether it's the comfort of the lens or if it's the difficulty removing the lens in the morning. Again, as far as lens removal goes, a couple drops of artificial tears in the morning, hard blinks to get the tears underneath the lens should loosen the lens. So we do want to make sure the lens is mobile before removing. Otherwise, that can influence vision for the good part of the rest of that day. So here's a lens that's quite a bit taller than what the patient has right now. Decide what to do about the edge, and I don't think we need any changes to the power of the topo-demand. Really flat lens already. It's a higher correction, but I think if we center this lens a little bit, that will improve how the patient's seeing in terms of correcting more myopia. So hopefully this helps. Best of luck with your patient. Thanks for watching.